and poly, I got so many homies across the board that do all kind of stuff.
Like, okay, do Lizzy got a...
That is funny. Do Lizzy got a boo? Everybody's like, huh?
Right. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Wholistic Conversations. If you're someone that's into personal development, spiritual growth, or if you're simply on a journey to becoming the best version of yourself, then you are in the right place. So welcome. Each and every Monday, I release new episodes with different guests. And today we have no one other than Lizzy Jeff.
That's beautiful. How y'all doing? Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. You know, it's always a vibe.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It is.
So Lizzy Jeff is a dynamic artist and visionary whose music transcends boundaries and speaks to the heart and soul. With her unique blend of hip-hop, R&B, and soulful melodies, Lizzy captivates audiences with powerful lyrics that reflects her journey, resilience, and passion for empowerment.
That's beautiful.
As a multi-talented rapper, songwriter, and performer, she brings an authentic voice to her work, addressing themes of self-love, healing, and community through her captivating sound. All right. Lizzy music not only entertains, but also inspires listeners to embrace their true selves and uplift one another.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. Beautiful. Wow.
Thanks.
I might have to send that to my website designer and have her update the bio. Thank you.
No, for sure.
Thank you.
Because you like we feel it in your music, like the work you're doing, and even like we go hop right into it, right? The latest album you dropped, I mean, I can feel your healing. I can feel your grieving.
Yeah.
I can feel the community. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for blessing us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prophecies of a Rap Priestess, Volume 2.
There we go.
Yeah, we dropped it on 8/8, and it's been up ever since.
You know.
So I'm glad you took some time to sit with it, because it's definitely been all those things. And I was blessed, you know, before I dropped it to the world, to like sit with it myself and just let it help me move through what I was moving through. And then I was able to share it with the world. So I just love to hear the feedback on the other side of it, that the intention and everything that I poured into it is felt. So
yeah, it's received.
Yeah,
for sure.
Blessings.
So I want to hop right into like, how does this album represent your personal journey and evolution as an artist and a person?
Okay, that's beautiful.
Come on, we go get
you
in
always
there.
got the good ones. Okay, let me grab the album actually, and just look at it and hold it while I'm. So you said, how does this one reflect my personal
journey and evolution as an artist and a person?
Wow, that's deep. Well, the first for starters. So this is a CD that I'm looking at. You feel me? I just do a couple of exclusive CDs every drop for the people that love supporting independence. I mean, for one, it's called Prophecies of a Rap Priestess, Volume 2. You know, which Volume 1 I dropped a couple years ago, and that was just a beautiful like expression of my healing journey and where I was, and you know, just finding my voice even more and just being confident in my message. And so this is more vulnerable. This project is more vulnerable, more raw. I'm just looking at the first song. It's called Soliloquy. And that one really is a soliloquy. It's just beautiful poetry where I feel I was very vulnerable about my story in my life and what I'm moving through and overcoming. And then it goes right into my prayer, which shout out to my attorney, Miss Dominique Esquire. She loves that one, Miss Dominique Price Esquire. You feel me? But it's funny because we were together, you know, last night, and she requested that song, and all the ladies, we were just listening to it, and that's something that is like pure from my heart, but very universal and collective. And my prayer was just me putting out, you know, my prayer over the collective to represent what I was moving through, what I'm moving through, but also what we are moving through together. And it goes on and on and on. There's some fun stuff. There's some deep stuff. You can pop titties, pop ass. You can think, get introspective, reflective, but all of it is just like my truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it features some of my favorite artists, Nisha Nice, Dizzy Rice, Supernova Slum. You feel me? Melanin B, who's doing her thing, Londrell, Taisha Renee. It goes on. Tony Jones and Tone. Yeah. So I love it. I was very like proud of this, the commitment and everything that I put into creating the project to share with the world. I truly believe is one of my classic projects.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
So if you all are out there and you haven't heard Lizzy Jeff's latest album, make sure you tune in, okay? Because you're missing out on some phenomenal healing, some energetic frequencies. You know, you go catch a vibe. You go like something off the album.
Yeah,
for
something.
sure.
It's something for everybody on there.
For sure.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, what was the most challenging part of creating this album and how did you overcome it?
Dang, the most challenging part? Sheesh. Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I know it might look like I got my stuff together, and you know, I do to a certain extent because I'm very devoted to my business and the foundation and just building off of a strong foundation. But I'm still an indie artist. You feel me? So I'm still figuring shit out. I don't go to a 9 to 5. I work for myself. I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I have my record labels Zen and Kush Records. And so, you know, you got to really love this to want it. There's so many nights where, I mean, studio sessions aren't cheap. They not free. Production, you know, I learned a lot from Nip. So a big thing for me is ownership and having those conversations up front and being intentional about, you know, how I work with producers and artists and being very clear in how I move. And so, you know, just being creative and sourcing the funds to pay for things. And, you know, cause there's music videos, there's, you know, you got to record it, you got to mix it, master it. There's marketing, there's promo, there's, you know.
And not to mention too, there are splits on the back end.
Right, splits, right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not that as an artist, you're recouping everything that comes in.
Right.
You still have to give people
exactly.
their stuff on the back end. So.
Exactly. So I'll say it's a challenge.
Yeah.
I'll say that is a challenge, but I love a challenge. You know, I'm big Leo energy, Taurus moon.
Yeah.
So I love, you know, getting creative and, you know, having that freedom to do what I want on my time as a music artist. But this project has allowed me to get very clear on what it is I need to create a quality album. So now next time I know what I need to ask for. I know what type of support I need. I can be clear in that. And so if anything, you know, the challenges became really great lessons for me.
Yeah.
Because I have fun making the music. I have fun in the studio, making the videos. You know, we always pulling up somewhere, shooting a dope video, telling a dope story.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it.
But you still need the funds.
Yeah, but exactly.
You know,
in video,
and,
none of that stuff.
You know, it's important to understand because sometimes, you know, as a listener, we just love the music. But we have to remember to support the artist and whatever that looks like, whether it's a CD, whether it's a vinyl record, whether it's a poster, a calendar, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making sure we support you.
Thank you. I love people like you. Thank you. And I'm going to say what you, based off that, in the same instance of me being with my homegirls last night. And, you know, Miss Price requested me to play my prayer. I played it, and some of the other women who I had met earlier that night, they were like, oh, I love your music. So then I ended up showing them my CD, and everybody in the car, it was 5 women in the car, everybody bought a CD from me. You know, just like the homegirls. I didn't just perform. I didn't just get off stage and do a show just off the love, just wanting to support me. You feel me? A Black woman-owned enterprise. Every single lady in the car bought a CD and, you know, a magazine too. So that is important because now that can go towards, you know, paying the graphic designer, the photographer, the videographer, studio time, whatever. So I appreciate that.
And how does that make you
something.
feel when, you know, you have those people that support you outside of the music, right? Because it's easy to play the song.
Yeah.
It's harder to spend $1.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying?
It's easier to play the song. Yeah, harder to spend the dollar. That's true. I appreciate it so much. And I believe that's why I'm so community centered. Everything I do is about my community. You know, how I move, the plays that I make, I'm very focused on, you know, sharing the opportunities with my team and the people around me that support and giving back in that way. You invest in me, you really investing in us. And so even for my vixens, you know, I have a team of beautiful women that live all over the world that are just beautiful spiritually, physically, mentally, and they're medicine women. They're tapped in. And so that to me is support because they show up. They show up to the different cities when they can. Some of them are mothers, you know, business owners, things like that. But that means everything to be me and to have the support of these amazing women who are very intuitive, who are clear, who are great communicators, who are inspiring, who are creative themselves, who inspire me. And so I love it. I'm here for it. Let's keep building.
Hey, let's do it. So, as you reflect on this project, what are you most proud of? And how has it changed your perspective on your music?
What am I most proud of?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so proud. Just last night I was like, I'm really proud of myself for this project. I made this magazine to go with the album. It's my first official ever magazine. Lizzy Jeff is dope. It's infused with some greatness, beautiful photos, the artists, the producers, poetry, you feel me? Just a vibe. And what I picked this up because I was very intentional about creative directing this with intention. The photographer is a Black woman-owned photography studio here in Atlanta, Queen Tut Photography. My stylist, who also made this beautiful vegan fur coat for me, Yasmin Saida. My makeup artist, Natasha from Clutch CO. Princess was there. She was our BTS coordinator. So even this, you see the album cover and then the sprinkle of the beautiful vegan fur rug behind us. It looks like a backdrop, but it's really a rug that Princess was in the back holding up, sweating,
Come on, make
putting
it
that
happen.
work in for
Right.
us to get the shot. And that became the shot. We took 1,000 photos. This became the shot. And it's like, I'm proud to be a woman, especially in these times with a woman centered. I love men. You come to any of my shows, the boos are out. You feel me? But I love having it be, you know, inspired by the essence of the divine feminine. And so this whole project, as far as like creatively, from the CD to this, is just all women, you know. I just wanted to bring women that I love. And I shout out to the brothers who produced the beats, you know. I love the men in my life, but it was important for me to create something that, you know, just tells a story from our perspective. And so I'm really proud of that because we were in the Airbnb for about 8 hours that day. We vibed it out. We had some vegan snacks, some organic juice. You feel me? And we set it up and we were focused and we got what we needed. And it was beautiful. And I'm very thankful for that. And I'm just proud to have such a dope team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm gonna tell y'all now, Lizzy, she gonna come with her tribe, her vixens. She's coming with the crew. Okay,
Right, I
so
am.
no, I really do love that because it shows a team. Because for me, look, I do everything.
Yeah.
I'm the engineer, I'm the producer,
Right.
I'm the makeup artist. I'm like
Right.
everything. So right now I'm calling in
Yeah.
my tribe
Okay.
and my team.
And so it is.
yeah,
It's here. It's
you know?
activated. Yeah.
sure.
And you're very clear in it. And so in the snap of a finger, I mean, you're a goddess.
Yes.
You're an empress, a priestess, you know, a beautiful Black woman
Yes.
who is divine, who created this for herself. Since the first day I met you, every time I see you, I'm just so intrigued. I'm so inspired. I'm always like, wow, her light is so radiant. That's a reflection of the work that you put in, you know, the devotion that you have to yourself. And I feel like you made it into this space And this is just a portal into that next chapter, but it's also a portal for you to manifest and bring in that team you're calling in. And I see that for you. We see that for you. It's a room full of powerful, magnificent manifestors in here. So
Come on, let's
and
talk
so
about
it
it.
is.
Yes. So I wanna pivot. Okay, we about to get real deep, y'all. So
Okay.
stay tuned because on your album, something that I hear is this idea of grieving, right? There is a form of grieving. So, how has the process of grieving influenced your creative expression in your music? Because I hear the my father. It's that one particular moment that is playing back in my head when you said like your father, and I heard the emotion behind it, and I'm like, yeah, this deep. So how has the grieving process influenced your music?
I mean, deeply. All the aspects of who I am inspire my music because I just get in the booth and I flow. I'm a channel, you feel me? I'm just downloading, I'm uploading. But the grief in particular, are you talking about Soliloquy? That song?
I think so.
Yeah. And you could feel it because I was just flowing. And but I was like, sometimes it is very challenging to be so raw in your music with something so personal. But I felt like it was time for me to express, and I felt like the people who receive my music are people who receive it purely, people who receive it with the intention to receive it as medicine. And it was beautiful for me. I mean, of course, grief is not easy. Grief is unpredictable. Grief can be chaotic. Grief can be gentle. It shows up in so many forms. But this project, many of these songs, including My Prayer, just helped me. I had just recently lost my auntie. I didn't lose her, but my auntie transitioned. And she was just somebody that was, just a big part of my life since I was a young girl. And just so fly and beautiful and elegant. She would always be at the spa. That's where I get my spa, you feel me, behaviors from. And she was just always fly and educated and was always pursuing higher level education. She was a Delta. She was always about her community. But that was really tough for me, especially because it was, of course, for many people, it's unexpected.
It was sudden.
Yeah, but I had just had you know how it is. You was just with them 2 days before, and we had plans to meet up. And there's still a lot of questions unanswered for me around everything.
Like what happened?
Yeah, and just wanting to understand it. But some things I may not ever understand. So I needed a way to process it because I felt the grief weighing heavy on my heart. And as much as you want to be positive and, dance and stay in your rituals, that's what's most important for me when I'm moving through deep stuff. I had to learn that no matter how deep the shadow work is, you really, truly have to stay devoted no matter what to you, because it's so easy to fold. We're so fragile. And I'm on a mission, and so I make space for my grief, but the music is what helped me process it creatively.
It's an outlet.
Yeah, just something to hold me, just something I can listen back to. When the first 100 times I played My Prayer back, I was in tears.
Yeah.
I hear Soliloquy when I perform it live, especially with Taisha. It moves me. Sometimes I struggle moving through that song, because it brings those emotions up. But that's why I created something like ID the Vibe and LA Girl, I'm a LA girl, something that's fun, boppy.
Yeah.
Because that's also a reflection of where I was too. Kendrick just shut it down at the Forum. You feel me?
Yeah.
It was so much going up in LA, and it was like, well, shit, I'm a LA girl. I'm here. You feel me? And so, yeah.
So that's beautiful. And I believe the process of grief is never easy because so I've been listening to a lot of teachings from a yogi. And he talks about the idea of grieving is losing a part of your identity because you create this idea of this dream that you had with this person. So they were a part of your dream. They were part of your vision. They were part of you. So for them to transition, now you have to lose part of yourself, the dream you created in your
That's
mind.
powerful.
Maybe you had an idea that you wanted to take care of her, you wanted to do this
Yeah,
with her,
yeah.
and like now that whole thing has been stripped away in the sense of the physical. So it allowed me to resonate deeply with like, wow, I don't think I ever attributed grief to that level of understanding
Oh, wow.
that we're losing parts of
That's
ourselves.
powerful.
And they also then transition it to the idea of love, right? Because love and grief, love and loss is essentially the same thing because we can turn love into fear because we can fear of losing a person. So then now we're turning this pure thing, this pure feeling that we have into something that don't even exist yet because our fear is creating something that's not there because it's making us lose track of love.
Oh, my goodness.
So it gets deep.
That's deep, girl. You're going to have to send me that one.
That's deep. And it's so good. So what emotions do you find most prevalent in your experience of grief and how do you navigate through them? Because like you say, we got a wide range. Sometimes we can be in joy of grief, remembering the good times. And sometimes we can feel empty inside too. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the people that filled us up and made us who we are, you know?
Right.
So how do you navigate through those different emotions?
How do I navigate it? I smoke my kush. You feel me? My mimosa sunrise. Organic sun grown. I journal. You know, I like being in the sun. I like being topless in the sun. I like doing beautiful Epsom salt baths with the rose petals. You know, I just like to soothe myself. I like to luxuriate in all the finest things life has to offer. Because in one of my songs, I said, grief will really have you fucked up if you let it. Mind your heart, love, and just do what you can to protect it. So it's like I feel grief through sadness, emptiness, curiosity, fear, loss in my heart the most. And so I'm like, you know, when you think about the 42 laws of Ma'at, when you think about Ma'at and the balance, and, you know, when you reach Ma'at, she weighs your heart to a feather, keeping your heart light. It's not even an idea, it's a lifestyle, it's a commitment, it's devotion, but it requires everyday practice. And so I'm inspired by the 42 laws of Ma'at. I'm inspired by Ma'at and the balance. And they say when we meet Ma'at, you know, on the other side, Ma'at will weigh our heart to that of a feather and weigh it, you know. And if our heart is light as the feather, then we proceed forward into the afterlife. And so it's just a very beautiful concept. It's just a very beautiful understanding, because for me, when I was feeling that grief, I was feeling it really deep in my heart space, in my chest. And so every day I intentionally ask myself, you know, when I'm feeling deeply emotional, how can I just lighten my heart right now, you know, and just move in that and walk in that love. And, you know, because every day is a new adventure, a new challenge. And so, yeah, just, you know, what does that artist say? He says, step light and breathe easy and step light. But I liken that to also keeping a light heart as you step.
Yeah. And one of the things I resonate with having a light heart is the idea of, you know, processing my mother's grief, processing the grief of my mother with the idea of, like, I was talking to my grandma and she was really, you know, had a deep conversation with me that was very profound, because I'm like, yo, my grandma finally opening up. And she was sharing the experience she had as a mother who lost her daughter
Right.
the day of her transition. And I never heard that story before.
Wow, that's powerful.
Not even from my dad, not from no one.
Right.
Like what actually occurred. She's telling me the time that my mother called, to the time she went to the hospital, to the time the doctor said this. And it just opened my heart to realize that not only did I lose a mother,
Right.
but you know, my grandma lost a daughter, my dad lost a wife, you know, my aunties lost a niece, and it just gave me a deeper understanding that like it's more than just me when you're grieving.
Right. It is more than just you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful.
That's very powerful.
I mean, even the fact that you got the opportunity to sit with your grandmother and hear that, and I feel like in that expands your heart, that opens your heart, that to love, you know, just to connecting with somebody on a similar frequency, but hearing their perspective, which I feel like it like enlivens your perspective more too, you know, of your mother, because it just gave you a different way to perceive her.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what is one piece of advice you'll give to others who are navigating their own grief?
One piece, right. I mean, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But for me, I would just say remember to protect your heart, you know, and whatever that looks like, no matter what trials or tribulations, how deep you are in your shadow work, just always remember to protect your heart through it, you know, just lean into your rituals, eat. Don't forget to eat. Don't forget your green juices. Don't forget the ginger shots. Don't forget getting in the sun, you know, just whatever it looks like for you. That's the one piece is like protecting your heart through it all, because we're still physical beings, you know, living this spiritual experience and emotions. We can see emotions, but sometimes we can't see, you know, the emotions. And so it's important for us to remember to breathe, do our lymphatic cleanse, detox, stretch, move the energy, dance, shake it off, so that we can continue to keep our temple thriving.
Yeah.
To experience more life as the people who transition would want us to.
Right.
You know?
And as you were saying, the last conversation that you had with your aunt was the idea of bringing love into your life, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't know that, Lizzy. We don't know Lizzy in love.
You don't?
Because I remember one of your songs you called Dr. Holistic.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
a giggle.
intentions.
So
yeah.
I was like, okay, do Lizzy got a...
That is funny. Do Lizzy got a boo? Everybody's like, huh?
Right.
Let me see. What can I say? How can I say this? You know what? Let me say this. First and foremost, Lizzy is her own boo. I know that sounds crazy, but I always want to start with that. You feel me? That's always important, because in order for me to reflect the masculine energy in my life that I desire deeply, I got to be that in some way first to myself. You know, I had to really just learn to love on me the way I want to be loved on, you know, because if I love on me in a certain way, I won't accept anything less. I'll only accept something that matches that frequency or greater. Show me something I haven't seen. And so I have muses in my life. You know, there's, I have friends in my life that inspire me, that check in on me, that, you feel me, send me, you know, a Venmo from time to time to take my vixens to dinner. You know, that might buy tickets to my events but don't show up because they live in another town, that just show love and hold that space. And I appreciate that. I love that, you know, as a goddess, as a woman that carries that energy, who knows herself, who's in tune with herself, her spiritual essence, her divine feminine sensual essence, her sexual essence. And I'm still learning and growing and evolving. But as a woman that moves in that frequency, you know, that comes with a certain level of devotion from men. And also I have to have that discernment. And so I don't know if I'm answering your question or skating around it, but
yeah. You have men in your life that show up for you.
There's someone special in my life.
Okay.
I'm not married.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say that I'm not married yet.
Hold on, wait. So no, wait. Because we got to talk about that. Because I was recently talking to a married woman, and she said the day before their wedding, she was out on a date. So do you believe the concept in you're single until married? Into
Oh,
married.
that's interesting. I like that. To me, it's all about what's the agreement, baby. You feel me? Like as long as we here, we respecting each other. What's the agreement? And there's so much I want to say, but I'm like, ooh, how I'd rather say it in a song. Go download it. But yeah, if that's what her and her man agreed on, and she want to have like one last cute little date, like let's say my man was like, babe, you want to, have a date with somebody that maybe you have a crush on, or you want to invite somebody over and just, have another gentleman. It's something that I would have a conversation about and, talk. They gonna get me for saying this, but really I don't care because I'm a woman and I love being in the presence of amazing, strong, beautiful, masculine energy, protector, in service, a man who understands the value of a woman, a man who understands how to honor the goddess, a man who enters her presence with gifts as if he's bringing gifts to the altar. That's my type of energy, and for me, I believe in, whatever I believe in at the moment. I believe in, communication. I believe in clarity and honesty and a safe space. I love curating a safe space for my lover to exist, and something that's safe, that's sexy, that's sensuous, that's seductive, that's mind, something that provokes your thoughts, deep conversations, stimulating experience together, like cooking aphrodisiac infused meals together, and teas and tonics, and sipping and bathing in the sun. I like all that stuff. And so I feel like in order to be in that space with someone, there has to be a certain level of trust and safety and understanding, commitment, and I'm with it.
So are you like open to poly?
That's a really interesting question for a
It
nigga
is.
like me at this time, because everybody's talking about it. And I mean, I'm not interested in poly. I got so many homies across the board that do all kind of stuff in their relationships. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Some are monogamous. I love that. Sometimes, I just want one man and one man only. Sometimes I like having a roster. You feel me? Sometimes I like, because that's the thing. Different men can bring different things. Now, here's what I will say. This is my personal belief. I mean, my personal whatever. I'm very stingy with the coochie. I mean,
As you should
as
be.
I should be, because I spend so much time like cultivating my energy and taking care of my pussy and my coochie, my yoni, my womb. Like, I love my womb. There's so much devotion that I have towards my womb, and the magic of it, and just the impact that it has on people's lives, on my life. But as a woman, we are blessed with the divine gift to create, and it's not just always babies. It's magnificent universes and portals and force fields and various things like that. So I have that awareness, I have that understanding, and so I am very particular about who I spend my time with and how I spend my time. And so if I'm committed to someone, I'm committed to someone. If something comes up and it sparks my interest and my curiosity, and we have a conversation about it, and we respect each other, and I'm open, to crossing that bridge when we get there. But for the most part, I like being able to have one person that you can really see, that sees you, that you can build and establish a foundation with. I love long-term plays. I love long-term investments. I love, saying something with somebody and making that shit happen like magic. I love that. And so that does require a certain level of commitment first. And then from there we can bounce, we can see how it goes. I don't know what the cards hold for me. I just know
Yeah.
what I like, how I like to feel, and the type of people that I want around me and the type of experiences I like having.
Yeah. Now, this is a very interesting question that I feel like people want to know.
Okay. You just asked me an interesting question that I don't know if I answered.
No, you answered it. You answered it. You're open, but
Okay.
you are willing to do commitment. You enjoy the idea of commitment, but you
Yeah.
also are you're open to different things. Is women a part of the
You know what? I'm so
openness?
happy you asked me that crazy ass shit. I'm just kidding. Shout out to all my girls worldwide that love girls. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. And I love girls. I'm a girl's girl. I think women are the most beautiful creation that God placed on this planet. I just happen to be a woman. I just happen to surround myself with beautiful women. I love women. I think women are magnificent. I love mothers. I love maidens. I love crones. I love my elders. I love my grandmother. I love my auntie. I love all my aunties and all my big cousins and my sisters, my baby sister and my big sister. I love all the teachers and the goddesses worldwide that ever made an impact on my life or listen to my music or support me in some way. Shout out to the women. It's all about you feel me, the rise of the matriarchy. Let's go. Big titty energy, big pussy energy, meow, meow, purr, 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 purr. Big pussy energy, big goddess, big empress, big titty. Even if you got little titties, you feel me? Shout out to all the titties worldwide. No matter what you've been through, no matter how many babies you birthed, no matter how many babies you breastfed, or how many boys you turned to men on the titty. Shout out to the titties worldwide.
But
That's how I'll start there.
okay.
Romantically, I love treating women like magic. I like taking them to beautiful places, eating the finest, most exquisite organic cuisine, sipping on the most delicious, nutritious, biodynamic grown wine, going to the finest hotels, staying at the dopest Airbnbs. Hell, I'll open your door for you, goddess. Hop in. I love buying women flowers. I love pulling up on my homegirls. We show up for each other. That's what we do. We love each other. Do I like women romantically? Would I date a woman romantically? I don't know. Have I ever dated a woman? No. Am I interested in dating a woman? Not necessarily. I don't know what the future holds, but I like men romantically. I like getting my titties rubbed on, my thighs kissed on. I like hearing sweet nothings, sweet everything's whispered in my ear. I like that from a man. But I will show up for a woman in the way that shows her that she can never accept anything less from a man. If your homegirl, if your girl, if your mentor, if whoever I am in your life can show up for you in this way, another woman, then that means that you are a goddess and you're worthy and you deserve to be treated like that. So how could you ever fuck with a fuck boy? I'm not saying I have all the answers and I'm the best. I'm learning and growing every day, but I do believe in the power of just pouring into women, because there is something truly extraordinary when you trust the power of the goddess, when you tell her dreams, when you make a space for her to be safe, to thrive in her feminine essence, to just be her in her full glory. Something truly miraculous happens in your life. I think is beautiful. And so if I understand that code, why wouldn't I show up for the goddess in the most divine way? And whatever men they choose to deal with outside of that, they have something to base it off of. Now, a lot of women grew up with fathers in their life. You know, a lot of women grew up with understanding and knowing how to be treated and respected by a man, so they don't take shit. And I respect that. Shout out to all the daddies worldwide that are in their daughters' lives. But shout out to all the homegirls worldwide that show up for their homegirls in that beautiful way and always make sure it's a luxurious experience where she feels safe, she feels secure, she can trust you, she's safe to dance, to thrive, to dress however the F she wants to wear whatever she wants to wear, to do whatever she wants to do with her body. And I'm going to be there and I'm going to love her and I'm going to support her always and forever, eternally.
there you all have it, ladies and gentlemen. No,
But
no,
I love women. I love
yeah,
women. I think women are beautiful.
for sure. And I love men.
Yeah, but I love
No,
men.
no, I'm saying from a perspective that there's nothing like having a
Speak
man
on it. That
around.
masculine energy.
I mean, just being taken care of is
Right.
one of the best things, and it's one thing that I just love. I'm like, I don't see how some women can go through life and act like they don't need a man
Right. I
because
agree.
I can't operate in
I
that.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? I just can't do that because I love a man.
Oh,
I love the
yes.
presence of a man. I
Yes.
love the attention of a
Yes.
man. I love the affection of a man.
Yes.
You know, like,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
women,
girl.
but you cannot replace a man. So
Yes.
I just got to say that.
And thank you, because I love that. Because shout out to the men, because the men, all these podcasts and all these conversations, you're a goddess, by the way.
Thank you.
All these podcasts and all these conversations is just like anti-men and anti-woman. And it's like, no, actually, just as much as I love women, we love the men too. And for all the reasons that you mentioned. And I think that's important. That's why in all my music, you know, and when I have the opportunity, when I'm speaking directly to men, I'm very intentional with how I'm speaking to the men and why I appreciate them, especially a lot of my new music that's dropping around Valentine's Day. Stay tuned. But it's important for men to hear that, to know that we do appreciate them,
No, for
and we do
sure.
need them, and we love them. And shout
they're
out to my
needed.
little boo.
Y'all are needed. Don't forget that. So, speaking of men,
Mm-hmm.
what are some qualities that are most important to you when you're looking for a partner?
I like that. What are some qualities? That's so good. I actually just wrote this song and recorded it. It's called Treat Her Like Gold. And it's so good. I'll play it in the car when we get in the car. But it's just like a open love letter to men on how to love us, as not only to get a goddess, but to sustain her, to attain her and sustain her. And so part of that is rooted in your qualities, your characteristics as a man. And so I'll say, I mean, I love a man who loves himself first, you know, like in the knowing that he's divinity, in the knowing that he loves himself. A lot of people walk around these days and they don't love themselves. So I love a man that's devoted to his personal development, to his spiritual growth. I love a man that's disciplined. I love a man that's on time. I love a man who takes care of himself, who stretches, who eats good. I let him be plant-based. Oh, we married. That's not the only requirement. But I love me a holistic man. I love a man who has emotional maturity, who has patience, because, you know, I have that Leo sun energy, Taurus moon. I can be stubborn sometimes. I can be like really rooted in my own vision sometimes. And so that's why I like strong men who have a strong mindset, who can help me, you know, just chill sometimes. You know, I like a man who brings that energy to bring that peace, to bring that calm. I got bags. We got a production. We on the road. Carry my bag for me. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love that. I love when men open the door for me. And some women don't care, and I respect that. But I do love if I'm with a man and he makes sure I'm in the car. Because what happens if he walk around the car on the other side? He got to make sure I get in the car first. I know that's so simple. I know it's so simple to many people, but that's something that stands out to me. A man who's really proud to
be a man.
Yeah, and have his woman and love her and buy her gifts and pour into her and invest in her dreams.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's what I love. I love a man who sees me for who I am, especially in my work to the community, who can then hold that space for me when I'm not holding space for the community. Somebody that can just listen, somebody that studies my music, my art, somebody that, you know, wants to know me more on a deeper level. And, you know, of course, somebody that, you know, is like on his creative fly. I just love me a fly brother.
For sure.
I just love me a fly man who know how to put it together, no matter what.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Because we could go on and on and on. You like, girl, hello. All right, we got it.
Okay, so I was having a really interesting conversation with one of my friends, and she was telling me about her ideal man and what she desires. And, she described him as this, high earner. And, so this is why I make a statement at the beginning of, no, just playing. It's all good.
Get your shit together. You are, yes.
Look, y'all, we got a live audience. So,
right, a live audience.
We got a live audience in.
I
so
appreciate
just
your
be on the
patience.
lookout. No, it's all good. It's all love. But I was having this conversation with my friend, and she was telling me about the type of man she desires. And, she described this man that most women want, right? But I'm like, okay, what if he cheat on you? Would you stay or would you leave?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be realistic.
Yeah.
Because if you want the top man that look good, that's earning this amount of money, you at home to being a housewife, it comes with another side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you willing to sign a prenup? You know what I'm saying?
Am I willing to what?
Sign a prenup.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're talking about this ideal man that's already established and that has built something,
let's see what it
we got to be real about it. So, how do you feel about
prenup,
that?
Oh, yeah. I'm all for the prenup because here's the thing. And I wish I could have had a conversation with my attorney before this so I could really be versed in this. But that is something that I've thought about because I love a written agreement. Now, I stand on my word. I believe that the word is powerful. And if you say it, you stand on it. I really respect, especially a man that stands on his word. That's like at the baseline. And I also believe in the written agreement. I believe in a written and signed agreement because then that just like clarifies the word. It just is just like, okay, we both have this understanding and we're both are committed to this. Okay. And so as far as the prenup, yeah, I mean, let's sign an agreement. Let's sign the NDA. I mean, love is love, but also, love is business. Love is creativity. Love is legacy. Love is healing. And so if we gonna play the business game too and have the legal elements, then let's really be on point with our stuff. And so I'm open to that.
Come on. No, I think even that understanding requires a level of self-worth. And not saying that women who don't sign a prenup or won't sign one don't have it, but when you realize that you also on the other end of the spectrum have something to lose, you can understand a man's perspective of, okay, yeah, let's make an agreement. And I think it's really about how you go about the agreement because it's still something you both agree on, right?
Yeah.
So if the agreement is, okay, we both come in with what we came in with, but that does not mean that we can't go into business together and invest into real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to be smart about...
Yeah, just be intentional and clear up front. Let's like that with if I'm doing agreements with my producers, with big festivals that are booking me, videographers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like, business is business. I feel, if you get married, that's a business transaction. That's a business agreement. And so I feel like everybody has their own agreement and what works for them. And even what you said about your friend where she was like, you asked her about the cheating. You said, would you go back? And
like,
then
would she stay with a man that provided her all of this, but then he steps out and have other women?
Well, was that a part of their agreement up front?
Right.
Because because I could be open. I could be open if that was part of the conversation. What are you talking about? But how I feel about that when you talk about the top tier man, because that's so funny because I seen a video today that another popular podcast woman, she responded to a man who was like, I'm a top tier man. And he said, it's because I'm this height. I make this much money. And excuse me. She then said, well, to me, a top tier man is someone who's this, that, this. And it was all these like very prolific qualities and characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because we can't get too caught up in these categories.
For sure.
You can be very specific about what you want, but I feel like if that's my man, he's for me. You know, there's somebody in my life right now who I really respect, who I'm very inspired by. And for right now in this season, that's my muse. That's the person that inspires me. That's the vibe we on. And you know, it's like, if it changes in the next season, it changes in the next season, baby.
Right.
Like,
come on. I mean, we're literally changing seasons because we have.
I might want a new boyfriend.
Come on.
And if for Valentine's, I might want to go on a date with 2 boys, with 2 men. That doesn't mean we have to go back to the crib and get it popping.
Right.
But I just, sometimes I might want to be in the presence of that. And
I think too, okay, so this is interesting because I was having a real good conversation with a friend who has explored her and her mate, right? They were both open. They lived under the same household. But she says that most men can't even handle a woman having multiple men.
That's true.
Because as a woman, we are naturally receivers. So we don't got to do nothing but show up and be ourselves.
Right, okay. Talk about it. Talk about that.
No, seriously, we don't have to do anything but show up and be ourselves. And men are going to do for us versus a man getting multiple women. He's the giver. So it takes a lot more energy, a lot more finances, a lot more of him to show up and be the man.
Right.
Versus being a woman, we just show up and be ourselves and we receive.
Yep.
So most men can't handle.
They can't
handle that.
And I love that you said what you said earlier too, when you're like, I just love to receive. I love gifts. I love being feminine. As you should. We love it. But why weaponize that or why demonize that when we just love being in our natural form? Like, I would love to do a TED Talk topless, but the world will shame me for it. And I mean, and that's not just TED Talk. I just mean the idea on a platform like that, but it would never because, titties.
Right.
She's sexualizing herself. Oh my God. And it's like, actually, this is just my natural form. When I'm with my girls and we chilling, even if we, you know, it's like natural, you know what I mean? And I know some women are like, oh, cover up or whatever. And I respect, that's the beauty of it. But it just makes me think about that because it's so natural for us to want to just be in our feminine essence and receive and just be a goddess and just be magic. And the sooner our brothers can realize that, the sooner their entire life trajectory shifts. When you understand the power of pouring into the goddess, emotionally, physically, spiritually, then you will receive the gift of manifestation tenfold. You ask permission before you enter the womb. You speak to the womb. Try pussy gazing. When's the last time you just gazed at the pussy as a man? When's the last time you just looked at her and worshiped it and honored it and spoke life into it and loved it and poured into it and dripped it in rose petals? You know what I mean? When's the last time you just looked her in her eyes and just told her, you know, what she really means to you without speaking? You know what I mean? There's so much. And that's why I'm like, brothers, come on, my brothers. I love y'all. I believe in y'all. Get creative. Just love on the goddess. Love on her.
And it's okay because that's still a sense of vulnerability for a man to be in that space to be able to share.
Right.
We are being weaponized. My roses. No, just playing. It's a beautiful aesthetic. But I wanted to talk about, you're talking about this role, this idea of women, right? And I was recently watching the Megan Thee Stallion documentary. I'm not sure if you had a chance to
Not
watch
yet,
it.
but it's on my to-do list as soon as I get a second.
Oh
Goodness.
man, like it really gave me a different perspective of women accepting themselves for who they are, and also it gave me the other perspective of us women being hard on each other,
Yeah.
and society and the culture being hard on women for fully embracing who they are. And one of the things that I connected with Megan Thee Stallion was she's so free and so open because she was able to be that in front of her mother, where your mother is the most critical, the most judgmental. So if you can be
That's
that
deep.
free with your mother,
That's deep.
who cares what the world thinks? So it gave me a different perspective of her and her self-acceptance. And I'm like, okay, I actually like her more from the documentary. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Because
I love that.
if you only see her for what she show, you think, okay, wait, why is she shaking her? Why
Right.
she so,
I
know?
hear
But
you.
then when you see that, oh, this is just a natural thing that can happen if you have a good relationship with your mother who accepts
that's
you for who
deep.
you truly are. So, I mean, I got to give it up to us women, okay?
Shout out to all the women worldwide. I've been sipping.
Come on, cheers.
Just a toast to all the women worldwide, the beautiful mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the grandmothers, the aunties, the great grannies, the great great grannies, all the ancestor goddesses. Just shout out to y'all, especially like during this time is a very truly monumental and historical moment just in our world. And I'm so happy to be here to witness it and to be a woman, to be challenged with all these things, to even have the opportunity to get to know ourselves more, to love on our wombs a little bit harder, to strengthen that connection with our wombs a little bit deeper, and to strengthen the connection with all the women worldwide. So this is to all my goddesses, all my empresses, high priestess, women worldwide. I love
Hey,
y'all
let's
so much. Thank you
go.
for existing.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ashe. Shake them titties too. Titty shake worldwide. I wish we had one day every week where we could just be topless.
Right.
All the women worldwide. Okay.
Okay, but this is a perfect time for our health break, okay?
Okay, health break.
So I have a company called Herb and Flow where I manufacture health food products. And I know that you're a traveling entrepreneur who's on the road.
Yes.
So I wanted to gift you one of our products.
Okay.
It is our sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root capsules, okay? So if you're someone that's traveling and you want to get your daily vitamins and minerals, then Herb and Flow, we got you. All right, so I want to gift that to you. Taking up to 2 a day, 3 maximum. I mean, it's good
burdock,
for
sea moss, bladderwrack, and that's it. Just 3 ingredients.
sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root.
That's beautiful.
And it's really good, like
Herb
for
and Flow.
digestion.
Okay.
For even muscle recovery. So if you're hitting the gym and you need
Okay,
something to
bet.
relieve
Yep, I'm
the
about
muscles,
to start my
yeah.
Pilates journey literally in 2 days.
Yeah.
I just want to get real strong and build up my muscles. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Shout out to Urban Flow.
There we go.
Cell Food 102, sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock.
Yes.
Vegetarian friendly.
Okay. So before we get out of here, I definitely want to talk a little bit about health and wellness.
Okay, let's talk about it. That's my favorite subject.
Okay. So what does a balanced diet look like for you?
Oh, I love questions like this.
For you.
I love that. One time I heard somebody ask my friend billionaire about that. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he was like, "Oh, I don't use that word because it has DIE in it." I'm like, "Dang, that's okay." Let me try to get creative in how I could revamp that word. And so, for me, just a balanced lifestyle is intention. It requires intention and devotion. And I've been on my plant-based journey for 33 years now. I'm actually celebrating 33 years of being vegan. And actually, I'm hosting a virtual dinner party on 11/11. And we're going to start out with a workshop that features one of my favorite sweet potato gumbo recipes. And then we just going to celebrate. We're going to sip on some tonics and go from there. But to answer your question, balance is... when I get up, I take a deep breath. I give gratitude for another day. I go to the kitchen. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, especially when I'm home, but when I'm on the road too. That's why I'm very intentional with my hotels having a kitchen or staying at an Airbnb with a nice kitchen. I live for that. And so first thing I do, I go to the kitchen, cut me up a key lime, squeeze the key lime, take my key lime shots. Key limes are very beneficial in many ways, including being astringent. And so they eliminate toxins and any type of mucus from the body. And so I like to start that. Empty stomach, take that. I have a myriad of herbs and tinctures because for me, I believe in the world is there's so much going on in the world. There's always something coming for you, for your belief systems, for your mindset, for your body, for your womb, for your breast, for everything. And it's like, well, we have to equip ourselves when we step out into the world. And so taking my herbs every day is like my armor. So sometimes if I'm on the go, I'll just I'll do a little bit of mullein because I love that, I love smoking that organic sun grown. Shout out to Wild Seed in LA. I love smoking that organic sun grown. So I take mullein as an herb to keep my lungs strong and detoxed. I like Damiana. It makes me feel sexy and sensuous and creative. I like red raspberry leaf for my womb. And so I'll start with the herbs either under the tongue or I'll brew them in a pot and then super pot of herbs and then I'll drink it as tea. I love drinking tea every day. I'm mostly plant-based. And many days I'll just do raw. I'll just make a really amazing salad with some pomegranate seeds, avocados, sprouted walnuts, the pumpkin seeds, you feel me, some arugula, massage the kale real good, some romaine. Yeah. Just catch a vibe. I love a nice salad and I love making a really delicious, nutritious, organic acai bowl, smoothie bowl. No, and the toppings, right the there. Dates. Ooh, yes. I love it. I just love it. It's so fun preparing meals for myself. Like I'm a goddess and I love preparing meals for my friends and whoever's in my life. That's just something. And so I try to stay balanced by shopping organic, going to the farmer's market. Farmer's market comes with all the luxurious organic fruits at a very sustainable price, but you also get the community element to it. That's balance. You need the community to stay balanced because oftentimes the community is what keeps you accountable. And this lifestyle requires a certain level of discipline and devotion. And so when you're able to have people around you that are on that same lifestyle, that keep that balanced mindset, it just kind of helps you stay more fluid with it. And so balance just looks like mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, especially physical, especially because there's so many things coming at us in the physical realm, staying like elevated through that. And breath work is vital. Yeah. Breath work is vital.
It is. The breath is so important and so critical because it can literally change how we think and feel in the present moment. Like that's the one thing to connect to. If you ever want to become aware, just breathe. So, can you share a significant challenge you faced in your health journey? Because we all have our things. As much as we try to be as healthy, we still have some challenges that come up that say, "Wow, okay, I need to work on that with myself." Whether it's your mental health, nutrition, health,
Significant challenge. Maybe sometimes I don't get enough iron.
Okay.
But I recently found an amazing iron supplement that I love. I thought I was doing good because I eat a lot of iron-infused vegetables. I love me a good kale, romaine, chlorophyll infused arugula salad. Maybe sometimes I may need a little boost of iron. But as far as a challenge, I believe that when it comes to the way that I eat and how active I am, I'm always on foot. I like to walk. I like to get them 10,000 steps in a day. That's very important for me for the cardio, for the longevity, and, trying to keep the weight on, that's like a challenge because I'm constantly like getting my protein through my hemp seeds, my sprouted almond butters, my avocados, various things like that. But because I'm so active, it's really a balance and staying, just inspired to have more calories than I'm burning. I know a lot of people try to burn more calories than they're eating, But for me, that can be a challenge for me. And so I foresee myself becoming very strong and fit for 2025, like Lizzy 3.0.
Okay.
She fine, she fit, she balanced, she's strong. She can like carry her weight. She can do things for herself. She can carry a baby if she needs to. And so I'm just moving into that space, you know. And so I'm my homegirl. She's in Miami Jungle, Johanna. She has this Pilates certification, and it's coming up. And I'm ready to get my Pilates certification. That's just a step. And so in order to qualify for the certification, I need to get at least 20 Pilates classes in a certain amount of time. So that's just a journey that I'm stepping into, literally starting this weekend. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I saw something spark though. You knew I was about to circle it back.
Okay.
So do you have a desire to be a mother?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I see that for myself.
And no, it's like sometimes in society we get told that we have this ticking clock.
Right. We do.
We do, but we don't.
No, I mean, we do get told that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, but we, as long as we're healthy, we can conceive a child.
Right.
No matter if you're 50, 60, it's possible.
Ooh.
You think about back in the day, like our grandparents were having kids
11, 12,
in their
13,
late
14,
50s,
15.
you know?
Right.
So it's very possible.
Yeah.
And I would be so excited for that journey for you, because it takes some women, and I think there was a conversation being circulated that it's okay for women not to want to be a mother. And I really do believe that. But I also believe being a mother qualifies you to be a better human, in my opinion.
Dang, that's deep.
Come on.
That's deep.
We can
Being
double
a
tap on
mother
that.
qualifies you to be a better human.
I say that because being a mother, it's not about you anymore. So you have to have another level of compassion, another level of patience, another level of understanding that you can't get unless you're a mother. No matter if you got a partner,
I see what you mean. I see.
because y'all both adults. But to deal with someone that is not as cognitive as you, it takes another level of your humanness. You know what I'm saying? So,
I appreciate you breaking that down.
for sure.
That's a beautiful perspective. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm excited about that. I can see that for you.
Thank you. Me too. And
Yeah.
so I have all these doulas in my life and all these birth workers and medicine women. And I'm like, well, let me put myself in a position to be inspired by them, learn from them, strengthen my body, just strengthen my womb and my mindset to prepare, so that in a year, if I check in with myself or if the universe checks in with me and it's like, girl, it's time, then I can embrace it with more openness and love rather than fear. Because it's easy to get caught up, especially just being a Black woman in America in this time, in this year, on this day.
Yeah.
It's election season. I mean, that doesn't have everything to do with it, but I'm just giving context to why, there can be fear that is around,
do you feel like you had fear up until recently?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's still some stuff I'm working through. Just being a Black woman and I saw something the other day that said the medical system or the prison system to Black men is like the medical system to Black women. And I said, damn, that's kind of deep. And I understand that, but I have many friends who have had amazing positive experiences in the medical system, but I have a lot more friends and family, including myself, that have had some really scary, unreal, racist, just weird experiences in the medical system. And sometimes we don't share our stories, but on the rare few times that I have shared, so many other women were like, yo, I resonate with that. I've had that experience. And so that's why so many more women are moving back into our indigenous natural roots, going through doulas and having natural births and wild births and things like that. And so I'm just placing myself in a position to learn as much, to be around my nieces and nephews, to be a big part in their life, to just, embody that energy and embrace that energy. And I feel like through my community, through Zen and Kush, my record label, my event series, my music, I've been able to birth many things. I do feel like a mother in a sense. And so that's just extending and expanding the legacy. And if you listen to my music, I talk about my mom, I talk about my grandmother, talk about my great grandmother, I talk about my auntie. I speak on the legacy of these women who are me. I'm a 25% of all of those women. You know, I'm a perfect fusion of all of them. And so I do feel like, you know, to expand that to the next generation is vital and important to just tell the story and what we've overcome and been through.
Yeah.
I believe in that.
Thank you
for asking and allowing me to express that, because that's the first time I think I've ever spoken on it publicly. Plus everything is changing all the time. And so I appreciate just being able to hear myself speak on it too. Thank you.
Because that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure many of your fans and people that support you have wondered these questions.
Yeah,
you know
thank
what
you
I'm
for
saying?
asking.
I know the last episode we got more into our emotional, you know, it was very it resonated deeply with the souls of people.
Yeah.
But this right here, we want to resonate deeply with Lizzy, and like I really want to get to know you more as a person. As an artist, you know, we get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these are questions that I had on my mind. Like, wait, do Lizzy da-da?
I see it
You
for
know
myself.
what I'm saying?
I see that. I
love
see a
that for you.
family. I
see
see
that.
marriage. I see ceremony. I love the idea of a beautiful ceremony of both families coming together to celebrate the love. It may not always have to include the law, but I respect the idea. I respect the ceremony, the curation and celebrating love and the commitment that you make to somebody and building, you know, building that legacy for sure.
And one piece of advice I would say is you can never be prepared enough.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like it's never going to be a perfect, ideal situation that's going to make you feel ready.
Yeah,
until
you're
you're
right.
in it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So,
I received that. I'm
for
gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah.
My
So
goodness.
before we get out of here, like what are some projects or collaborations you are most excited about?
I appreciate you asking. My 11/11 virtual event that I mentioned, the dinner party, that's gonna be sexy because it's virtual. I'm gonna be live from my kitchen, just catching a vibe, sipping on something organic, curating that. And then I'll be hosting a very beautiful, fun, enchanted weekend in New Orleans at the very end of November with my vixens. And we just gonna bless the city, pull up with our roses and our goddess magic and just float through, you know, hosting various things and stuff like that. So, but as far as like the project, so 2025 is looking very vibrant and luxurious and just prosperous for me. There's some really dope things that I'm working on, including working on a book, a book that's related to sensual aphrodisiac recipes that I love creating. I want to lean more into my health and wellness side. And speak more on just the things that I love most about the plant-based journey. And so I feel like, you know, just working on that book and a music to accompany it is something that I'm really excited about. And the Zen and Kush Fest 2025, as well as Zen and Kush 420, will be going into 9 years of Zen and Kush. And so 420, I'll embark upon my first tour for 2025 in the spring, April, May, and June. And then we'll do the fall tour for the Zen and Kush Fest closer to October and November. So, yeah, I just got to have it mapped out in advance. You feel me? Now that I've been on the road for the past 5 years nonstop, like just consistently every week, every other week in a new town. Now I'm able to take everything that I've learned, the community that we've built, you know, over these past 5 to 10 years and really like create something special. But ultimately, my vision is to have the Zen and Kush headquarters, the Zen and Kush lounge, and having that space where people can come to me, to the healing. They can come to the goddess feminine activation. They can come experience that music in real time. And so I'm just, focus on stacking that bread, collecting that bread, raising those funds, and getting my money right and righteous to invest in the land. The land is something that's very vital for me to start the garden and just everything that I envision for myself, my family, and my community.
There we go.
Yeah.
So how do you envision your music evolving in the next couple of years? I mean, because we talking about you becoming a mother.
Yeah.
There's going to be some shifting,
Yeah, there is. And that's why I've been actively like, I know I'm busy and I'm on the go, but you might not be able to tell, but I have been slowing down. I have been. I haven't been doing as much hopping on planes and packing my suitcases, even though I'm literally on the road. But for me, I know, and so I just had to kind of slow down a bit. Yeah. And so it's a process. I believe in the beauty of the process. And so, what was your question?
How do you envision your music evolving?
Okay, the music. And so that leads me into slowing down so I can hear myself, so I can catch up, so I can recalibrate, so I can reset my nervous system and take in and process the experiences. My life is a movie. My life is a film festival. Every day, I can't believe half the shit that's happening, even though I said it was going to happen. And so the music is just going to be a reflection of that growth. Like, I was having a real dope, deep conversation with Londrell, who I see he was a guest on this show. And
we manifested that.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it from the first show. I asked you who you wanted to bring, and I said, okay, let me see. And then,
and it happened.
But I was having a conversation with him, and he said, Lizzy, our fan base, our supporters, they're going to always be our fan base. They're going to always be our supporters because we make music for people that are dedicated to their growth and elevation. So as we grow, the people grow with us. And so that's how I see my music evolving. Just whatever I'm going through, I'm going to get right in the booth and I'm going to talk about it. Whether I'm dealing with some white people that don't want to pay me my money for my services, or some contract, or some women who I might have been really close with, who we might be experiencing that shadow side of sisterhood, which is something we don't talk about. There's so many different things that I experience just as me in this world. And so I get in a booth and I talk about it. I speak on it. I like to get things off my chest. Yeah. I might be in a teacher mode. I might want to talk to the men. I might want to talk to the little girls. I might want to talk to the elders or the ancestors. And so the music is just a constant reflection of who I am and my growth. And so I got this, certification coming up. I got, the album that's coming out next year that I'm working on. But before the album, my vinyl is dropping for Prophecies of a Rap Priestess Volume 2. I'm dropping the vinyl very, very soon, and some really beautiful just collaborations. But I'm a woman and I love being in my femininity and I love receiving. I like gifts. I like money. I like sponsorships. I like donations. I like land. I like fruits. I like kush. I like flowers. And so I'm really calling in those top tier brand partnerships for the brands that see me, that believe in what I'm doing, with the women around me and the men around me that want to invest in that, sponsor that, support what we have going so that we can take this message to the next level. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So what is one legacy you hope to leave behind?
Wow, that's deep.
It is.
As the train rolls by. That's a powerful question. The legacy that I would like to leave behind is just, understanding the power of who you are and being able to think for yourself. You can listen to what I'm saying all day. You could do what I'm doing all day. You can listen to whoever you want to listen to all day, but it's the power of thinking for yourself and just creating something beautiful that people can tune in. Like, we're here right now with each other. We feel this energy, but in 1,000 years, when they listen to this video or when they listen to this audio, they'll only be able to hear the train in the background. They'll be able to hear the laughter of the ladies and the rose petals falling on the floor if they're listening. But we're here right now. And so this is a gift that we get to experience each other in real time. And so for those that might tune in 100, 2, 3, 400, 5, 7,000 million years from now, I just want them to just know who they are. Just remember the divinity. It doesn't matter what era you're in. We are all divine, and we all have a beautiful purpose on this planet. And whatever that is for you, that's what it is for you. Figure it out, tune into that, and just whatever you do, make the world a more beautiful place in what you do. You know, if you walking in love, if you moving with integrity in your business practices, if you're devoted to your own personal self-development, if you show up in your family and your friend circles with that love, with that healing energy, with that intention to make the space more elevated, then you doing all right in life. You feel me? And if you just want to stay home and be in bed today because that's what you need, then stay home and be in bed today because that's what you need. But I do think there's a lot of power in really activating the responsibility, your duty of being here on earth to just make the world a more fun, sexy, fly, healthy, clean, clear place.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, I ask every guest one last question. What is one piece of advice you'd like to share to the world? And I gave you two heavy hitters back to back.
That's okay.
You know,
be you. You feel me? It costs nothing to be you. We spend so much, we just do so much. We exhaust ourselves trying to do something else and be somebody else, but be you, baby. And whoever that is in your true, authentic nature, just breathe into it. Let's take a deep breath. Breathe into who you are. Breathe into it. Feel your heartbeat. You know, hear the sounds around you. Feel your feet planted on the earth. Feel into it and just be here now and remember that you are of the earth and love yourself and love the earth. Love the earth. The earth. The earth don't really need us, but the earth needs us, you know, and I think it's important for us as we go back and we reflect within ourselves and we remember who we are, to remember where you came from and to really plant those feet in the earth, those natural feet, no shoes, no socks, and just really allow yourself to be connected. Because in that, I feel like if we recalibrate our relationship with the earth, then we can literally just make the world so much cooler and better and safer, cleaner and clearer and more popping.
Well, there you all have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Wholistic Conversations.
Thank y'all.
And we had such a beautiful...
you are so beautiful. You are so beautiful and graceful. I love it.
This was amazing. This was festive.
Thank
you. This was fun. And I'm so excited. I can't wait till our next conversation.
Me too.
This is, you know, it's needed. So.
Can I ask you one question before we go? Okay. I mean, this is a quadrillion options, but I'm going to keep it to one.
Okay.
Because you asked me all these beautiful questions. And you're so amazing. And I love your creativity and your energy and just your devotion to who you are and your purpose and journey in life. And so being who you are, and I see you in public spaces. I see how people light up when they see you or when they're talking to you or they're in your presence. And so what are some things, you know, maybe what is the most like non-negotiable practice that you practice daily to cultivate that energy and to sustain that energy?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind is not allowing everybody into your space.
I'm protecting your energy.
I'm very selective on who I allow into my personal space because I don't want anyone in that could drain me and that can dim me. So I'm very selective. And some people, like recently, I have one friend where she's a little bit more outgoing and a little bit more receiving of others. And I'm just like, not me, you know? And they can look at me. It's like, oh, she seemed a little closed off. It's like, no, I'm just selective.
It's your discernment. Yeah.
So I feel like that right there definitely helps me preserve my energy and you know, just keep me full and full
I love that.
of light. Because sometimes too many people around could distract you. It can pull from you.
Yep.
It can do a lot, especially when you're up and coming.
Yeah.
And they can see your light and want to get attached to it and just want to hold on. But it's like,
That's
we got to
true.
be equally,
Yeah.
we got to be an equal value exchange. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I do.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that you protect your energy.
Thank you.
Because I can see how your light attracts so much. I mean, I see it in real life every time I'm in the same room as you.
Yeah.
And so thank you for sharing that. I think that's powerful and very important is having that discernment and also fully trusting your intuition and knowing if you're getting some type of feeling about a person, trust that and kind of like move with that, just discernment.
Yeah.
And so
And
thank
not
you
being
for sharing
nasty about it either.
Okay, yeah.
Just operating
You can
from
still
a
be
space
graceful.
of like, yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
And you just, you keep it moving.
Keep it pushing.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
be
So,
graceful in your discernment.
Exactly.
I respect that. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
And
Thank you so
for
much.
asking.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
All right. And thank you all for tuning in. And I will catch you
Thank
next
y'all.
time. Peace out.
Blessings.